And Garrus is just so finely sitting in his little window so perfectly.
Mm-hmm. Happy cat.
He likes his bed. He
Evening,
likes his bed a lot. Hi, chat room. We're alive. Hi.
folks.
Hello. Let's go ahead.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show. Let me go ahead into the tweeting. Nope, wrong account. There we go. We are live. Twitch.tv/Tauren Think Tech. I can do this. I can do it.
I did it.
Okay. Okay. Let's do this thing. Revlobot is tracking loyalty. Yes! It is. It is! Okay. And where's my soundboard? Okay, soundboard. There's my soundboard. Barcoden has 367 points.
Yay.
Let's see.
All the points.
Our poor logs get hungry too. It's cool down at the drive-thru.
Yep. I heard it.
You can hear the difference in the microphones too.
Yeah.
You know?
That and I was recording in a hotel computer room, like the little mini office that a lot of them have. I was recording in there at like 11 o'clock in the morning after working all night.
Yep. That
And
that
there's
room was
kids running by.
Oh, that room was probably a little bit live.
Yeah, just a little bit.
And people are like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah, it was not ideal, but I won't have to worry about that anymore.
No, we do not. So, hello, folks. How are we tonight?
How is everybody?
It seems weird that we're here on a Wednesday, because it is Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
It is Wednesday. And we're here with you. And after we finish the show, that I'm going to multitask between posting the show and packing.
Oh.
You
It
look
just sounds
so
so
tired.
I've had such a long day that just thinking about working on something and packing and all the stuff that you have to do just
He's like, I've had such a long day.
I know.
It's almost over. You know, it's time to sit back and relax and hang out with our Moo crew.
That's very true.
You know?
That's very true. I just get to relax and then go to sleep.
Yes.
And just
Absolutely.
just lean back and go to sleep.
Yes. Just be like, I'm going to go and just lean in my chair.
Good night, everybody. See you in a
Yeah,
couple
see, we let you do that and you're going to be gone.
Yeah.
You get, and the cat is actually in his perch for the first time in a while, so he's sitting in his spot. We'll see if he wakes up at all. Does his thing. You'll get to see the sunset behind him because I forgot to close the blinds. Oops. Oh well, we'll just let the blinds be open.
Hey, I got a question about the CTR vintage shirt. Is the default color that we're going to get, like if we did it on the Patreon, will that be the blue color shirt?
It's going to be a different colored blue. It's more of a royally blue.
Oh, okay.
Than this one is, because they're two different shirt brands.
Okay.
So the official color is kind of a royally blue, and this one is like a lighter blue, like a more sky blue. So they are different, but the pattern is the same. It's just the color shirt is different.
Yeah, I was thinking about either getting the green one or the black one.
Yeah.
I have a lot of black shirts, so I may get the red one. Red one's popular.
The red one is popular. Now that we've sold a bunch more since last time, it has evened out to the traditional. All of them are, the majority is the blue, which was the one that was advertised, and then black is the second one.
Really?
Yes, and I'm really surprised by that actually, because the font is white and yellow.
Yeah.
And so it was an interesting thing to see people picking the black one. And then the second most popular ones, red, and then purple.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I got the purple one, so
I thought about getting the purple one for my mom because she loves purple.
yeah.
If we ever had a purple triple T shirt, she'd be first in line for it.
Well, we could make it through Teespring. Like, this is the thing. This sounds like it's going to be an advertisement, but it's totally not. It's just like, if you're ever, doing something like this for Teespring, I found out how easy it is, and it is really super cool. And we could have literally done a campaign with one shirt. Like, as long as we sold one, we would have a campaign fulfilled. It's meant for fundraising, right? So then you set it up to say, hey, we want to raise X number of dollars, and so this is the amount that we want to sell in order to raise that money. But if you just want to use this to sell it and you fulfill it, we could do it. So all I'd have to do is just get the images from Triple T, and we could put them up there, which I might actually do.
Yeah, because I would like to. I need to get another one.
Me too, because the one that I had originally has pretty much disintegrated. So.
Yeah, mine's fairly faded.
Yeah. So I will, when I get back from my vacation, I think I might be looking into doing that, because I have those 3 designs that we used to put up for sale, and they're no longer, that site is no longer active. So, but I still have the designs. So we could do that if we wanted to make it. But the only drawback with it is that it is a time sensitive thing. So you have to buy within the window of the campaign. You can't just leave it up there indefinitely, but you can make more than one campaign, and you can choose whatever colors of the shirts that they offer. You can pick what you want to have. So we could have a purple triple T-shirt, but then it would like purple and red and yellow, with the colors of the logo.
We could maybe tweak the logo to just have make it like a flat white with the ring around it and Tauren Think Tank in white or something.
Well, I can also get the logo if you want to play with colors on it.
Yeah, I'd love to, because I've just saved like the flat image, or just not the high quality renders of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd totally take that.
Yeah, I can do that.
Play around with
I
it.
actually have them, I think, on Google Drive too. I could just share them with you.
Okay.
You'd have to extract them from the PDFs that are on there, but
I can do that.
yeah, I know
That's
you can do
not
that.
too bad.
So
I got this.
You got this. You can do this.
So I was trying to figure out what to do, because I still have this Overwatch decal thing from last year's BlizzCon bag, and I don't know what to stick it on, but I may put it on my new car, or my new to me car, maybe.
That's an idea.
You put it on the back. I was looking at custom license plates, because in Arkansas you don't have to have a plate at the front and the back, like in Texas and a couple other states they require it. Oh, Minnesota requires it. Okay, so no vanity plate for you. Well, not vanity plate, but
no, like decorative. Like they give you 2 plates when you.
Yeah,
you've got to put them on. I don't know. Actually, I don't know if it's the law that you have to use 2 plates, but they give you 2. When you
stands to reason then that.
Yeah.
But I thought about getting the Mage Crest, which I'm wearing with my awesome shirt.
I like it.
This was Ratzel's shirt.
Oh, that's right.
On Twitter, yeah.
Yep.
It's the one she gave me last year. So yeah, it's. I would like to get that. Put either that or the Nomergon crest with the wrenches. I'd love to have that on the front of my car.
Look at all these people who can make it tonight. That's awesome.
Oh, good, Bim. Thanks for letting me know. I thought I remembered you put it on your car.
Oh,
if it's still holding up.
I'll have to dig for mine. I think it's in my closet, and I should put mine on my car. So
yeah.
Yes. So oh, stop with the iCloud crap.
Oh yeah, the Kirin Tor.
Yes.
I don't know if I've told the chat room this, but I was talking to my wife about getting the Kirin Tor symbol on my forearm, like Khadgar did in the movie.
That would look sweet.
She was like, "Yeah, totally, go do it." It's like, no, I'm not gonna do it. It's just a cool idea.
Well, you can go on and make temporary tattoos now.
That's true. I could do that. I know we talked about that a little while ago.
Yeah.
So I could do that and wear that at BlizzCon and just have it on my forearm.
I really do. I want to get some temporary tattoos for BlizzCon. I think that would be fun. That'd be a good time. And
Yeah,
all
we'll
the
have to-
other things that I'm doing for BlizzCon, that's going to be the thing that I remember to do, right? Like
Yeah.
UV reactive. Oh, do they make those, Bim? Like that you can go in blacklight?
Maybe.
Ooh, that'd be cool.
I miss black lights. That was I had like 3 of them in my dorm room in college, and I had these like, like you go to like Spencer Gifts or one of those weird shops that have the cloth like big mural things with dragons and stuff colored in those reactive. Yeah,
That's awesome.
I probably still have it because in my dorm room we had the little twin beds that like fold up into the wall.
You're kidding me. You had those?
Yeah, it was a very old dorm. The dorm was built in the 50s or 60s.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was really old. And I had that, but whenever you folded up the bed, I had that big mural like on the underside of the bed. So when you lift it up, it's big decoration. And then I had a black light above it to just like shine down. I was like, this is so cool. This whole first time romping out in my own decoration stuff. And it's like, I love black lights. I want black lights everywhere. Now I miss black lights. That'd be
I
kind of
know. It's such a 90s thing.
neat. Yeah.
Such a 90s.
Needs to make a
dorky thing.
comeback. Well, I mean, the rest of the 90s stuff is coming back.
Yeah, Crystal Pepsi, man.
I found that when I was on vacation last week.
Yeah.
Found it, tried it. Wasn't bad. I mean, wasn't bad.
Is it supposed
It's
to taste like regular Pepsi?
It does not.
It doesn't?
It does not. Not a bit.
Okay.
It's got a very unique taste, and because I'd never had it when they first had it and it first came out, and I was too young. I was too young to remember really what it would taste like if I had tried it. So I was like, eh. I mean, it tastes fine. There's nothing bad with it. It's just I'd still go with the regular Pepsi.
All right, chat room. We're going to test our sounds. Make sure you can hear us. Let's do this one.
Someone call for the doctor?
I need to get I forgot which card it is. It's one of the Alliance guys. One of the big, I think it might be the Stormwind champion or something. Whenever he attacks, it goes, for the Alliance! Like that in a really weird voice.
That's with Hearthstone, isn't it?
Yeah. It's one of the Hearthstone Stormwind cards.
Yeah.
To find out what that was. I'll just play around and find it, and then I'll isolate it. See what I can do.
Yeah, and then we can do this because chat room, we need to know. Are you guys ready for a show?
Hump day! Show.
Are you ready? Oh, Blacklight Crystal Pepsi stains. We could talk about anything you want on this show, but that probably isn't what we'd be talking about. Later, iMac. Stop giving me the stuff about my iCloud. With everything that's been going on with my poor parents and their identity theft, I went through and I changed my password on everything. And so, and I, made them very much more secure than they were before. And now all my stuff is like, you didn't enter your password for this. And,
Just like, oh, come on.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Stop it. And then I've got to remember what I did for each one of them. And it's like, no. But a whole lot more secure, at least. I do not want to go through what my poor parents have been through. Oh, it's been awful.
I wouldn't want to either, because it was bad enough when I had my wallet stolen once to do that, but then to have all your online stuff stolen too, it's just...
Everything. Worst I've ever seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bad stuff. I'm hopeful that they're going to be doing better tonight or tomorrow when I'm there for the weekend, because they've been at this for a week trying to fix this. So
yeah.
All right. So you guys are all ready to pull. Hello, everybody. Thank you for coming tonight and not, our normal night. We do appreciate that. And let's do a show.
We do.
Hey.
I say we should.
I love when I raise my voice and Garrus, like, his little ear twitches. He's like, Mom, you're making more noise than you should be. You're making more noise. Okay. We're going to do a show. In... I hear the clicking.
Yep. Mechanical keyboard for the lose.
Keyboard. In 3, 2, 1.
You're listening to Tauren Think Tank, the podcast about the Blizzard gamer behind the keyboard.
It's episode 199 of Tauren Think Tank. Today is Wednesday, August 24th. What? What are we doing on a Wednesday? It is 8:12 in the PM. We've been chatting with the chat room just a little bit because it's fun. It's fun and games, yo. Have some fun with that. My name is Jules, and we are here on a Wednesday, and I do have somebody else with me. It's the man who told me that Crystal Pepsi doesn't taste like regular Pepsi, and now I thought I knew everything, and I don't. It's Mark Honan.
The Crystal Pepsi is a lie.
Somebody told me that the Crystal Pepsi was just the regular Pepsi with the food coloring taken out.
You know, I don't know if that was the case back then, because I never got to try it back in the 90s, but I finally got a hold of a bottle of it when I was on vacation, and I tried it, and it's not bad. I don't have any frame of reference, but it doesn't taste like Pepsi. Okay. Like, it doesn't taste like regular Pepsi. It's different, but it's not bad. It's just different.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I guess the internet lied to me. This has never happened before.
Yeah, the internet is everything on the internet is true. Everything.
Everything on the internet is true, and we're here to sell you some snake oil. You'll love it. It's the best. So, yeah, why are we here on a Wednesday? Because I am going to be heading out to New Jersey for the weekend, starting tomorrow morning. And so, doing it tonight because we wanted to stay on track. We're heading up into episode 200. Poor Mark Honan worked almost 12 hours today, but he is still here. And
still here.
He's still here. So what's been shaking with you for the last 7 days, or 6 days, actually?
6 days,
6
yeah.
days. What's happening?
Well, like every other altaholic, I've been living in the 6 areas that are the Legion invasions.
Yes.
It is fantastic the way that they have buffed it up every week. I'm going to be sad when it's gone, but actually I'm feeling a little burned out because last week I got my Pandaren Alliance Pandaren Rogue to 100, and then I made a Blood Elf Rogue, and she had 100 this weekend, and then I hopped on my Priest. It's the only class I don't have 100 on, and she was 45 when all this started, and I worked on her a little bit. But she's gone from 68 to 91 in the last 2 days.
Wow.
And it is bananas. If there's a class that you want to try out and you don't want to burn your 100 boost, or you already burned your 100 boost, go ahead and grind to level 10 and just go. Yeah. Get a friend that has a 2-person mount, and they will fly you around, and you just tag stuff and run away and try not to die.
Yeah.
It is so cool.
Tiber in the chat room said best pre-launch event, and I absolutely agree.
I agree. Yeah, and not just for the experience and for the leveling of the alts, it's the way that they've done it with the way the tech works now. Mm-hmm. Where you all go to this instance version, there's all the demons, there's that gigantic ship is shooting down fell fireballs and enemies, and they just spawn out of nowhere, and all these complex mechanics. I mean, it's the best one. It's the best one that I have seen since the Wrath launch event. That was the first one I ever saw, was the Wrath one.
Yeah.
Or ever experienced. And then this one beats it hands down. It is so cool. And even some of I know Lore said that even he is that's really too much XP that we're getting, but it's only here for another week. So, go have fun. They're pretty much saying, guys, make more tunes here. Just enjoy all the weird, never played a Warlock, huh? Well, why don't you try one? Why don't you get one up there? It's easy.
Yep. Yeah,
so,
and really only have to invest a very short amount of time to do it. So it is free boosting with a little bit of investment on your part.
Yeah, it just takes a little time.
It is very cool. And I actually took advantage of it and leveled up my Priest from 90 to 100 And that was cool. Like because I haven't played my priest since Lich King. So it's been a while. It's been a long time, and I leveled her she was sitting at level 90. But I just didn't take her all the way up, and she was still in Pandaria gear trying to do Legion invasions. I'm like, oh man, this is not good.
Yeah. When my Blood Elf rogue got to 100, she was still wearing the starter zone gloves, belt, and shoes. Mm-hmm. Like I didn't do anything but invasions. So it was like all heirlooms, and then like the gloves, belt, and neck piece. And I was like, okay, I need to get rid of those.
Yeah.
They kept breaking that, but every time they all broke, it was like 30 copper to repair them all. I was like, well, let me see if I got any copper.
Yeah, no kidding. You had to funnel
so
some gold over to your alts in order to repair your gear, because that was kept happening to me. I kept dying, and my gear would just break because it would just, a round of invasions, and I'd die enough that I'd have to go repair. People are super nice though, and they'd be, just popping up on their repair mounts and doing their thing, and it's just
and like
super
healing
cool.
random people.
Yeah. I what I loved is that there was life in the worlds again. And people were around, and it was it
felt real good.
It's been cool. So I've been playing WoW again. It's great.
Yay!
Well, and it gives me a good opportunity to just get back, because right now what's happening is Convert to Raid is now being inundated with demon hunters. All these people who are making their demon hunters and getting them ready for Legion, and so the guild operations are like fired up because we've got all these people that are coming back into the game. We're getting ready for the launch, and I'm like, oh my god, it's exhausting.
Yeah, the officers really got their hands full. Even more so next week when people like me who don't have the demon hunter yet make one and try and get it in.
Yeah, it'll be all hands on deck for a while, and that's why I'm glad that I'm going to be gone this weekend and not next weekend. So that'll be pretty darn awesome. What else have you been doing?
Oh man, it's been a majority just that. Like in my show notes, that's all I wrote was just OMG invasions, because I've been doing a little bit of One Night in Karazhan. I love the solo adventures, so I've been doing those. Doing like one every other day, one of the missions, so that I don't get too far behind. It's a lot of fun, and everybody's talking about Karazhan. We've got patch 7.1 coming up, Return to Karazhan. We've got Karazhan in Hearthstone. We've got it in the Warcraft movie. Everybody's going bananas for Karazhan this year. So, it's really cool. I didn't rate it when it was current content. I know you did. I know you love that place. So I know you're like so stoked for 7.1.
I'm so excited, and it just feels like it's coming full circle for my rating experience, because now it's like that's where I started. That's where I began rating, and I'm so stoked to do that as a dungeon.
Yeah, it's going to be really cool. I'm just happy we're going to, I think now finally Blizzard has realized that the whole, and I know they have, because they said as much as the whole one expansion of a year, like that's too quick. That's way too quick. WoW needs to be stretched over a couple of years, and you just really just fill it with rich content, rich lore, all these cool things and features, and then you move forward, after you've been really dug in and invested, because I never wanted an expansion a year. I wanted to sit and enjoy the world, wherever we are. Yeah. I still enjoy Draenor for what it is, and this is the last time we get to talk about Draenor this week.
This is it. This is like we're coasting through.
I tried to sell some Fellblight today, and it was like 9 gold a piece. It's like, I was just trying to get rid of it.
Yeah, you're moving into the next phase of the gold making revolution.
Yeah. And I've heard there's ways you can tweak your class order hall to get thousands of gold on these away missions and stuff for your champions. So there is a way, and I will continue to make the gold, because I never know I still have to get the spider, and the spider's 2 million gold. So I'll have to get that eventually.
Wow.
Ugh, too much money. But yeah, that's what I've been doing the last week. What about you, other than invasions and your priest?
Invasions, and then I've been following all the quest lines on my druid as well to make sure that doing all the quest lines, which have been Really good. This one this week, I just finished that last night because it released yesterday. So like we're here, like we're ready for Legion. And then I ran some mythic dungeons with some members of our new raid team. So it is so I had Kalani and Jayonse and Tiak from our new raid team that we're putting together. Pat Crane has done this and come up with the right name for this new adventure called the Ermagerd Offensive. So that is the new raid team that I'm on, and it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it will be.
So yeah, and it's going to be a group of friends and people from CTR that are, just wanting to do the one night thing and have a good time. And so anyway, so we ran some mythic dungeons, and that was an interesting, because I forgot how to heal first of all on Voodoo, and then everything changed with all the spells moving around, so I really forgot how to heal. And then I'm running into a mythic dungeon going, my buttons don't work. So that was
no.
by the end of the second one, I'm like, I got this. But it was just like my whole like muscle memory was gone. I didn't have any idea what I was doing for rotation. It was bad. Raid. I mean, they were the raid. The group was like, stepping in stuff, and I'm like, I can't AoE heal you. I'm on cooldown. I don't have mana. I mean, it's like all that stuff, mana management. No, I'm like, nope. I don't know any of it anymore.
Stop standing and stuff.
Yep. So you learn by doing and dying. That's kind of how it worked.
Learn by repair bill.
And repair bill. Let's see what else. It's just been, busy. I've had to work on a bunch of stuff, and luckily I haven't had to do a lot with my former employer recently, because they're starting to transition some of that stuff away from me finally. But I'm doing freelance stuff for them, as they're still transitioning the new person into the world. Let's see. And I've been playing a lot of Pokemon Go again. Yeah, so I'm excited because I'm going to be at the airport tomorrow, and I'll be traveling, and I'll be like, Pokemon everywhere, yay! So
yeah, turn it on during the flight. It's like, you are going too fast.
If there are Pokemon in the air, that's a bad news bears right there. I don't think that would be okay, but
it'll just be all Pidgeys.
Oh my god, I'm so
all
sick.
Pidgeys and Spearows.
Pidgeys and Rattatas, I get so many of those. Many, and Spearows. And the stupid little Caterpies. I hate those too. So.
Oh yeah, I need to catch some more because I have Kakuna, or Metapod, but I need to make a Butterfree. I don't have enough of the candy yet.
Yeah.
So I'm like actively seeking Caterpies. Just, I want your candy. Come here.
And a random Dragonite you'll never find. This is totally drunk. Yes.
Oh. I was at. Oh, you go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead.
Last week, I was out at dinner. And when we got done, there's a few Pokestops at a restaurant just right next to it. And I was going over there, and all of a sudden, a Venusaur spawned, like, out of nowhere. I was like, Venusaur, oh my gosh. So I do that, and when you're going to throw the Pokeball, it is like dark red. It's like, you will not be catching this Pokemon. And so I like keep throwing out raspberries, and I'm finally leveled enough to where I have the great balls, and I'm throwing them, and like 10 minutes later, I'm 10 minutes of just swiping and sweating profusely at this Pokemon encounter, and then he runs away.
No!
And I just like lift my phone up. No! Okay, we can go home now.
That is
I was
the
just
worst.
Sitting in the parking lot doing that.
When you find a Pokemon that you don't have, and you've just like tried to catch it, and it runs away, and I'm like, no, that is not cool. Like, you do not run. I've wasted all this on you, and you ran. It's too much. It's too much. I can't.
Pokemon Go is so stressful.
So I actually met with two of our members of our community on Sunday of last week. Nevar from Never Impossible, and his girlfriend Steph, and we went to a tiki bar that's here in town, which was super cool. And this place had Pokestops right there. They were in the bar. And so there was 2 of them that we were seated by. So we were luring those things up, because people all had lures in it. I had some that I picked up from the leveling up process and Pokestops. And so so we were luring these things up, and I'm catching all these things that I didn't have. And these guys are like level 25 or something like that. They've been playing a long time, and I'm level 12, or like I was level 10 at that point. And they're like, "Oh, you're still in the honeymoon phase where you're still catching new things." And I'm like, "Yeah, this is great." Like
oh, you will learn soon enough.
Uh-huh. Oh, IDEJ Tauren. I have EVs all over by me. Like by my house. Every time I go out walking, I get like 4 of them. They're all over here.
Yeah.
And that's just funny.
I did the thing where you use a lucky egg and then evolve all of your Pokemon at once. And I got like almost 5 levels by doing that, because you just pop the lucky egg. And I had it set up to where I had gone and done the math. I was like, how many Pidgeys can I evolve to Pidgeotto? How many Pidgeottos can I do this? I need to do this. And I just got it ready to go, and then popped the egg and just evolved all of them all at once.
Oh my god.
And I was like, okay, just to get it up there. And so now I think I'm at 16. Ugh. And Totally Drunk is saying the grind is real at over 20 levels.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I don't evolve them, and I need to do that. Now that I've caught enough that I've got the candies, I need to evolve them. So that's probably what I'm going to do. It just, that's what I'm going to do. Like sitting at the airport, be like, evolve this, evolve this, evolve this.
Yeah.
So this has now become a Pokemon Ghost show.
Yeah. It's Tauros Think Tank now.
Think Tank.
Tauros Milk Tank.
Yes.
Or Miltank.
So a couple of things to talk about for the show. Today was the last day for submitting audio submissions for episode 200, which is going to be next Thursday, September 1st. And Marconin is now going to be in editing mode.
Yeah, if you can record, if you're listening tonight and you can get it to me by the time I get off from work tomorrow, that'll be like the absolute cutoff, because I was like, I have to get these things plotted and get them in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, go ahead and knock that out tonight if you'd like to. It's as easy as getting your smartphone, because almost everybody's got one, and you just record it and email it to us. Easy as that.
Yeah, that's fine.
Doesn't have to be pro quality. Now, I need to be able to understand what you're saying. So
it helps.
But that's the only thing. It does help.
So Marconin's going to be working on that, and the show is again it's going to be on Thursday, which is September 1st. That is show 200. And that also has the time where we're going to be giving away the episode 200 Overwatch pops that are going on right now. Just a reminder, you all get a free raffle ticket to get in there. You don't need to be in the chat room to get it. You just have to go to tinyurl.com/Tauren200, and it's revlo.co, the site that you're going to. It's going to allow you to claim your free raffle ticket there. If you're in the chat room, you are accruing points right now as we are doing this, and you can be here for episode 200, accrue points throughout the show, because we will pull the winners at the end of the show. So the more points you earn, the more raffle tickets you can buy, more chances you have to win one of 4 Overwatch pops that were donated by, my gosh, my name, Tanker 1. My brain just went, whoop!
No, come back.
No, don't go there. Come here.
Come here.
So Tanker 1, and we thank him so much for that, and he will be mailing them out. This is US only, guys. I'm sorry if you are in the EU or elsewhere. It is US only. So
yeah, sorry.
There you go. All right, and we're getting towards the also on September 1st is the last day for you to purchase a Convert to Raid Guild vintage design t-shirt, which is currently going on at teespring.com/CTR vintage. We can offer you a whole bunch of shirt colors and shirt styles, women's lady sizing, and sweatshirts as well. And it's a really cool logo. If you're a member of the CTR Guild, don't miss out, because it's only here until September 1st.
A lot of cool colors in there too.
Oh, it's so cool. Marconen's got one. I've got one. It's like
I'm about to order a second or third one.
You're thinking about getting more?
Yeah, well, I want to get the black one too because you can never have enough black shirts, I guess.
I have way too many black shirts.
I know, I do too. But I have to have it. I need it. So yeah,
have to have it.
got full-on FOMO going on, fear of missing out.
Seriously. Okay, we're going to hit up our discussion topic of the week, and this one was picked by us. Here we go. Nope, that's not what I wanted. This is what I wanted.
Let's kick around some ideas, not gnomes.
I hit the wrong button, but it worked out okay. I'm like, I kind of was not looking at the screen, and then I looked at where I was clicking, and I'm like, oh, crap. I hit the drop down instead of the button. Yeah, that's so dumb. Okay, so as we warned you, we may be coming up with our own topics to talk about on the show, and it just happened. It has occurred because I was doing some thinking. I know, right? Seriously, Jules was thinking about what? I was thinking about what it means for us to do things that don't seem to make a whole lot of sense sometimes. And then I started thinking about what I do sometimes. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense sometimes. And then the rabbit hole began.
Uh-oh.
And I landed on the topic of what we call out there in the world, based on economics, sunk cost fallacy.
This is news to me.
You've not heard this one before.
I have not heard this one before today when you told me about it.
Okay,
and then I had to start looking it up.
That's cool. I had thought we had talked about it on the show, but I guess I was wrong because I thought I had mentioned it before, but we talk about a lot of stuff.
Maybe, but
Yeah.
I have attempted to sleep maybe a little since then.
I hope so.
Maybe. I might have tried, maybe not succeeded.
That's fine. So we do have a definition of what sunk cost fallacy is, and then we can talk about all the stuff that goes around it, because I think it has a lot of things that extend to us in life and also in our gamer life. So in economics, a sunk cost is any past cost that has already been paid and cannot be recovered. For instance, a business may have invested $1 million into new hardware. This money is now gone and cannot be recovered, so it shouldn't figure into the business's decision-making process. But you know what? I don't know of a business that doesn't think about, like, we spent that money, we should do something with it.
Yeah.
At least if you're in a business type of mindset. So let's apply this a little bit more to real life. So let's say in this example from lifehacker.com, it says, let's say you buy tickets to a concert. On the day of the event, you catch a cold. Even though you are sick, you decide to go to the concert because otherwise you would have wasted your money. Boom. You just fell for the sunk cost fallacy. Sure, you spent the money already, but you can't get it back. If you aren't going to have a good time at a concert, you only make your life worse by going. So let's start talking a little bit about how this can apply to other things in life. Again, then this one's big. I think that this one is a big one. So there's some examples, some talking points that I'm using from this article from Lifehacker. And it says, number 1, I might as well keep eating because I already bought the food.
That's me.
That's me too. So let's talk about, since we know this is an example, right? If we know that this is something we've lived in, talk about what goes through your mind when you go through this situation.
Well, I mean, it's kind of just like, well, I mean, I've already bought it, and I don't want it to go to waste. You know, make a happy plate. That's the mantra growing up is, you know, hey, make a happy plate, clear your plate.
Did that come from your family? Make a happy plate?
A little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Growing up, they, you know, like, you know, eat your vegetables, eat all the food on there. You got to eat it, you know, because, you know, that's just how we were growing up is, you know, got to clear your plate. And then when you're older and you make your own food decisions, which are not always the best, then you feel like I feel compelled to clear my plate to eat it all, even if my eyes are bigger than my stomach.
Yes.
And then I just kind of brush off the part of me that's ashamed at myself for continuing to eat.
Yes.
And then proceed to continue to eat until I feel bad. And then that part of me was like, see, shouldn't have eaten all that.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I know, but and there's ways that you could get around the fallacy, because if there's solutions to it. Like, well, I could reheat this for later. I could get a to-go box.
Mm-hmm.
I could have that tomorrow for lunch. I could do this. But in the moment, you're not quite thinking about that sometimes, and you're just like, well, another one that I get into is like, well, I've eaten too much of it, so now there's not enough to justify me getting a to-go box, or to justify me putting it back in the fridge, so I might as well just finish it off.
Yeah. Then, so the sunk cost is that partly, number one, that you paid the money to purchase it.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other sunk cost is that you ate more than you feel you should have. So in order to balance the scales for both sides, you feel like, hey, I won't have enough to eat for the next meal, so I might as well. I've done this. Absolutely done this. And so I'm not calling you out. I'm just, like, there's two parts to it, really. And then there's the third part of it, which is that we were raised as children to not be wasteful.
Mm-hmm.
And so I find it really fascinating that this still happens, because, our generation who are raising our children now are doing the same thing. Like, if we put this on your plate, you're going to eat it. And I find it's so actually broken, because we've started out in a culture where our parents lived with their parents who had nothing and went through times of depression and poverty. And so everything they had, they needed to not waste it. And so the mentality was, don't be wasteful. I love the thing you're talking about. Make the plate happy. The plate doesn't need to be happy.
Yeah, it was just a saying, that was a cleaned plate was a happy plate, because, it doesn't have any food on it. So you did good.
Yeah. But then what we've done is we've created a culture where, as adults, we feel the same thing. Like, we've been taught you have to eat what you're given. And so if that goes to a restaurant setting where you've been given more food than you can humanly consume,
yeah,
over time, and this is we've perpetuated this sunk cost fallacy.
Yeah,
starting
and to
from
a
way
point.
Back.
Yeah, and in the earlier generations, it was good because cleaning your plate was good, or finishing the food that was given is because the parents took some responsibility in what they were feeding their children. Mm-hmm. When I was growing up, there was a lot of vegetables on my plate.
Yeah.
And so they wanted me to, like, you need to eat all of those vegetables.
Yeah.
Like, don't, you could leave some of that, but they wanted, to get all of the good food in you.
Yeah.
And now we're taking that same idea, but we're not including as much of the healthy food necessarily. And our portions are a lot bigger.
Yeah.
And there's more calories in every portion. Like, you go to a steakhouse and there you've got like a 3,500 calorie dinner. Mm-hmm. And you polish that plate off. And then you're like, ugh.
Yeah. Now think of this scenario when you were a kid. You would have dinner and you'd have to clean your plate in order to get dessert.
Yeah.
If you didn't eat everything that you were given, then the threat was, well, you're not going to get dessert then.
Yeah, it was the reward for eating your vegetables, eating your all the good stuff on your plate.
Right.
That's the way it was given to me.
Yeah, but when you think about it, it's like this broken system of, you need to make sure you eat all of these calories so that you can consume more calories.
Yeah.
This is where it's broken, but we've been so ingrained in this society to do this. And I'm actually curious to see if this is the same thing in other cultures besides America. Obviously, we have a very big problem with obesity in our country. And so, and when you start tracing it back and looking at it, like, absolutely, like, I have major problems with portion control. And
Same here.
Oh, yeah. And it's carried through my entire life. And it's so I look back at it and I remember being a kid and having my parents say to me, you have to eat everything on your plate. And if you want in seconds, my gosh, if you ever want in seconds, you better want to eat that.
Yeah. Because you took it all, you put it on your plate, so you really have to eat it.
Yeah. Yeah. And so I have always associated an empty plate with its necessity. And if I don't have enough, like, so now when you cut back portion sizes, this is the worst. This is the worst thing in the world. Like when you cut back portion sizes and there's still food on your plate at a restaurant.
Yeah.
That's hard, man.
Mm-hmm. One way that I've kind of gotten around the portion control is use smaller plates.
Yeah.
Like we have these big dinner plates and we have smaller plates. So whenever I eat dinner, I get the smaller plate so that the plate's full, but it's not as full as it used to be when it was a bigger plate.
Yeah.
So I used to, hey, in 2020, so I just said that probably right as I said it on the stream catching up.
Yeah. Yeah. So food is a big one for sunk cost fallacy.
It is. It really is.
And then there's the other cost currency of time. So here's another one. Here's another example from this article from Lifehacker. It says, quote, I might as well keep watching this terrible movie because I've watched an hour of it already. Who's done that?
I have, but only out of necessity because I was 13 at the time. And I couldn't go anywhere but back to the lobby, and that was before smartphones.
Yep.
And I didn't have any quarters to go play in the arcade. So I sat through Kazam when I really didn't want to.
Yeah. I'm actually better with this than I am with other things because I have a really strong value on my time, and if it's being wasted, I get really frustrated. I don't have a lot of patience for it. So if someone is like if someone is in, like, meetings used to drive me insane when I was in corporate America. Because meetings are so wasteful with time most of the time. It was just the, people getting together in a room, and if they weren't a good meeting leader, then it was a lot of talking for, spinning your wheels. Nobody was able to come to a decision. Everybody was just throwing ideas and there was no consensus. And so
they read the PowerPoint word for word as they show you the slide. That's my number one pet peeve there.
Oh, yes.
Like, you don't have to read it. I can read it. Tell me what the problem is with it.
Yeah, like fill in the blank parts between your lines on the PowerPoint, those kinds of things. And so I've done this in terms of wasting the time and just saying, well, but I'm not as bad at it as I am with other stuff. Like I will have no problem saying this is a waste of my time. I'm not doing this.
Yeah. And Tiber in the chat room said this. He said, I used to finish any book I started to read, no matter how bad it was. Now I feel life is too short to read bad books, and that's kind of the same idea. It's wasting time. Yep.
And that was the thing that it was something that I learned early on. Cause I don't know. I hate it when people waste my time. Like I just hate it. I have this thing about like, and this is probably a character flaw that I need to work on. But if someone invites me to go do something or invites me to be a part of something, or they set up, a time where we're supposed to meet and then they forget, I do not take that well. I don't. And it's a character flaw I know of mine because I just feel like, look, I put my time aside for you. This is insulting. Like that's how I react to it. So...
Yeah.
And I have to understand, I have to be more tolerant sometimes because sometimes people just forget. I've forgotten stuff and felt like a horrible human being.
Oh, yeah.
It,
I've done that too.
But we're so busy nowadays and people do so many things in their lives that it happens more and more. And so I'm kind of in the mode where I'm like, yeah, if we're going to have something, I'm going to ask you ahead of time. Like I need to be in that habit more often to be, are we still doing this thing that we talked about yesterday or last week or last month? Are we confirming this? So I confirm like everything. I confirm coaching appointments. All that stuff. I'm like, we good for tonight? Good for tomorrow?
Oh yeah. We're good.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm glad she said something. Jeez.
Yeah. But it drives me bonkers. I can't stand it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I know I'm kind of I'm kind of a stickler on that way because I just don't like my time wasted. But
Yeah.
same thing. This next one is kind of the same thing too.
Mm-hmm.
I might as well keep going to a bad/useless class that I paid for.
Yeah. I haven't really done that because all of my any class that I didn't really feel like going to or anything, I would drop the class and reschedule it or do something else because, at least for me when I was in college, it was like there was a big emphasis on going to class and making sure you use full advantage of it because not everybody gets to go to college. Not everybody has this kind of opportunity. So you're going to go to class, you're going to like it, and you're going to get stuff done.
Yeah.
Because, you've paid for it. You're going to be paying for it for the next 3 decades with your loans. You better get out of it what you need to get out of it.
Yeah, that's true. But so the example here is like, let's say you join a club or a class to learn a new skill. You paid the entry fee and you've gone to 3 of the 8 sessions, so you might as well finish, right? Even though you don't like it.
Yeah, that's a little bit less drastic than college.
Yeah. But still the same thing applies.
Still the same idea. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And so it's like, okay, well, am I going to, so we would rather be miserable in a lot of these cases to choose to do to go through with it, even though you don't want to, because this cost is sunk.
Yeah. Well, and some could try to spin it like, well, maybe I'll end up liking it by the end of it, or maybe I'll learn something, so I may still get something out of it.
Yeah.
But you're not sure. You're still not sure at that point. You're just like, you're kind of grabbing at straws over there, like, well, I might like this. Mm-hmm. Maybe.
Yeah, you might, and you might not. And so, but when you tie a currency, an amount to it, sometimes it, when you don't have, say, just the matter of time, like it's a volunteer thing versus I paid this money to do this.
Yeah, you're invested.
You're, literally invested. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because you put money that has value to you. And for some, depending on the cost, it could have been, maybe you put yourself into a hardship or, something like that, or you budgeted something that you could have done differently in there. That's the worst, right? That's like, you get, you set aside money, you paid it up, and you're like, okay, I'm putting aside money for this, and it doesn't turn out to be the thing that you thought it was going to be, and now you've got a longer term commitment for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you feel like it's like if you just walk away, it is extremely wasteful.
Yeah.
Like I worked really hard for this.
I have stuff like that still eats at me. Like that I've spent money on and I didn't like it. And it could be like an article of clothing or, or a piece of furniture or something. And you spent money on it and it turned out a Keurig machine of all things.
Oh, yeah?
I remember buying a Keurig machine a while ago, and it died within 2 or 3 months of it being in the house. And the options to get it repaired, I think it was, there was like, they weren't going to take care of it. And that wasn't an inexpensive piece of equipment that I purchased. It was just like, why did I waste my money on this? And so I'm always out there on Amazon, like reading reviews on things. Like, I need to make sure that when I spend my money, I've got the value of it. And there are times where I'm like, this damn Keurig machine, I will never get another one of those things because it's just a waste of my money.
Yeah.
But there wasn't any sunk cost fallacy on it. I'm like, yeah, it died. And but I'm pissed about it.
Yeah. Yeah, you weren't like, well, I guess I should go buy some more coffee because I need to get my money's worth out of this coffee machine.
Yeah.
That would be
what was interesting? What was interesting? Okay, so let's talk about that. Because a Keurig machine has the little pods, right?
Yeah.
So I had bought a bunch of them. I'd had them in the house. And all of a sudden, there's no more Keurig. And so this actually is pretty funny. So there was no more Keurig. There was and there wasn't going to be any replacement. But there's all these pods. And I didn't want to throw them away. Because I paid money for them, and I might actually use them if I got a different one, right? So when I moved out of the house, I was asked if I should take them with me. And, like, do you want to take these with you? And I'm like, I don't have anything, but maybe. So what did I do? I wound up buying a different like K-Cup thing. It's not a Keurig brand. It's something different to use them in it, so that because the cost was sunk, and I wanted to make sure I used them.
Oh man, I was gonna say, did you? I thought you were almost going to say that you just donated it to the movers. Like, you guys have this? Here you go.
Yeah, out of all the things, like, I mean, because I live very, very, very sparsely right now. I don't have a lot of stuff at all. Like, I have nothing in storage. I have barely any storage in this apartment, and I don't even have it full. I just don't have a lot of stuff anymore. But for some reason, those damn K-Cups are just one of those things that I packed to take with me. Didn't even have anything to use them, but wound up spending more money to make sure that I could use them because I had sunk the cost at that time. It's interesting, isn't it?
There's got to be some way you could just like cut open a bunch of those K-Cups and put it in a coffee machine.
Oh, yeah,
and
you
make
could.
it work. You could just put it and have the filter in there. That's the way to do it.
Yeah, you just,
maybe.
Yeah, you could do that. It just
I don't drink coffee, so this is all foreign to me. I still don't know how to do that. Like, I don't know.
Well, the nice thing about, the reason why people buy these things, the Keurigs and the K-Cup things, is because they make single cups rather than a full pot. And so, it was actually pretty awesome for me because I was by myself. And so I could make I make my 1 cup of coffee a day and I'm good. So yeah, it was an interesting thing how it worked out where I didn't throw them away. Whereas I threw away a whole bunch of other stuff. Like, I was ruthless when it came out of, but let's talk about that. Because I think Marconin could talk a little bit about stuff and sentimentality.
Maybe a little bit. Yeah. Yeah, I'm a little bit more of a pack rat than Jules is. And by a little bit, I mean a whole lot of bit. She's, we have video. I can see what you're saying. And so can everyone else that's watching live. But yeah, I do attach some sentimentality to things that probably I shouldn't, because I mean I've gone through old boxes of things. I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that thing that I haven't thought about since I put it in here.
Yeah,
and it's like I completely forgot that I had bought this or that someone had given me this or and so like I've got just things that. Possibly, things like in my little junk drawer on my desk. Yeah. And there's a whole bunch of stuff in here that I just look at. I've got it open. I'm like, yep, I see a couple things in here that I remember, but it's not, it's not really doing anything there. It's not going to, do I really need it? Probably not. Will I get rid of it one day? We'll see.
Yeah.
Because it's hard for me to downsize. It's a little bit hard for me to downsize.
So tell us why that is.
Well, I mean, but just adding the sentimentality to it, just saying, like I get movie ticket stubs. I'm like, oh man, that would be great for me to do this thing with, and I may do it, I may never do it. I mean, for a while, in college, the back of my bedroom door was wallpapered with movie ticket stubs.
Oh, really?
And on the back of it, I'd write who I saw it with. So I would have like a little visual record, or I would write on the ticket who I saw it with.
Oh my gosh!
So this nice little record of what I saw when and with who. So and that kept the memories alive because I could look at it and reference it.
Sure.
I've got my ticket from the trilogy of watching Back to the Future on October 2015. And I want to get the newspaper and frame it up, but I haven't done it yet. So, that one's a little bit more sentimental than some of the just random things that I just think to keep.
Yeah.
It's like, I might use that someday. I probably won't, because most of my tech stuff is like 10 years out of date. I've still got old iPod Photo sitting around somewhere. Actually, it's still, I had to send it off because it broke and it was still under the like Apple Care or whatever. And they sent me back a new one. Uh-huh. Pristine, like it's still in the plastic, and I haven't opened it because maybe someday I can donate it to like a museum for like technology of the early 2000s.
And you know what? If that were me, I would just be like garbage.
You would let?
I would.
Well, better way would be eBay.
Or even but that
just getting rid of it.
I would just or make sure like then it takes extra steps to make sure that you you eBay it, that you've, run the
Yeah.
auction, that you've now mailed it, paid the money for the shipping. And so there's like a drastic difference between how you and I see these things. And that's not to say that I don't have sentimental stuff, but I don't have connections to a lot of physical items. It's a lot smaller than the range is a lot smaller than yours.
Oh,
and,
yeah. I'd agree with that.
Yeah. And so it's interesting. It kind of fascinates me how different everybody can be when it comes to that. And, when I moved out of the house, I'd been in the house for almost 10 years, and I thought I had a lot of stuff. And I did have a whole lot more than I have now. And I just went ruthless. I was ruthless as hell.
Mm-hmm.
I had old stuff from old jobs, stuff from it was all just going in garbage bags and donation piles.
I still have shirts that I wore at old jobs, like old job uniform shirts.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I'm never going to work, hopefully never going to work at Chuck E. Cheese again, but I still have my referee theme shirt still in there.
And so, you have it because it has sentimental value to you. Like, this was a part of my life.
Yeah, it kind of was. And, but it's like, I'm never going to wear that again, hopefully, and I'm never going to, give it to anybody. Like, I should probably just throw it away or don't, give it to Goodwill or something. Like the other day I was at work and a guy walked up wearing my college, where I went to college, a shirt with the logo on it. I was like, "Hey, nice shirt." I went there and he was like, "My wife found it at Goodwill." So, alrighty then. He was very like, "I don't care," kind of attitude. I was like, "Okay, this is going well." It was like a conversation starter, and it just fell flatter than flat.
That's actually really funny.
I heard a sad trombone in the distance. Womp womp.
Yeah, this is
way off.
sad. I'm sorry.
It's
really funny. But yeah, you were
swing and a miss.
You had a connection to that shirt, and he absolutely did not. It was just something to cover his body.
He even looked at it to see what it was. He's like, "Huh? Oh yeah."
That's funny. That's funny.
Will.
Sorry.
Sorry.
So we've talked about the physical item, that kind of thing. But let's talk about it in terms of relationships.
Oh, yeah.
This is a big one, and I think a lot of us can relate to this. Number 4 on this list for sunk cost fallacy examples. Quote, "I might as well continue dating someone bad for me because I've already invested so much in them."
Yeah. And you've invested time, too.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's like a thought of like, well, do I really want to go back out into the dating pool? Do I really want to get out here? Or do I just want to try and make the best of what I got because I've already spent this much time? I've already wasted this many years.
Yeah.
This many months or whatever.
Yeah.
Might as well.
It's so true. And the longer that a relationship goes on, the harder it is to come up with good reasons why, because you've sunk the cost. You've sunk the cost of time, emotional investment, money. If you've purchased a house together, let's say, and 2020 site in the chat room just said it perfectly. Quote, "You don't throw away blank number of years. You just don't do that." Well, yes, you can, but we have really good ways of justifying why it's not such a good idea. And it's so there's a nice part of this article that says, well, how do I free myself? And it says we fall victim to the sunk cost fallacy because we are emotionally invested in whatever money, time, or any other resource we have committed in the past. The most important step to freeing yourself from making poor decisions based on sunk costs is to recognize the logical fallacy. Simply being aware of it will help you tremendously in making more rational decisions in the future. It's literally recognizing it for what it is, to say, I am doing this to myself.
Yeah, it's just kind of pulling yourself up out of it, and you're kind of just realizing what you're doing.
Yeah.
You may have sunk this much time into it, but it's time you're not going to get back. So, or it's money you're not going to get back. So it doesn't really matter one way or the other.
Yeah.
Like you just gotta have to kind of think your way through and out of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
And
know?
there's also one other part of it, which is the time commitment that it would take to change it.
Yeah.
Just as you were talking about your old Chuck E. Cheese striped shirt, right?
Yeah.
It would time that would take to think about it, to purposefully put yourself into action to get rid of it. You can find other things to do with that time that are easier.
Legion invasions.
Sleep, sitting in front of YouTube or watching Netflix, walking around with Pokemon Go. You know,
Yep.
I mean, there are so many other things that you could do that are so much more, that require a lot less effort and a lot less emotional challenge.
Yeah. It's
You
a lot more
know?
enjoyable too.
Oh gosh, I mean, as somebody who has unraveled years of life to start over again, it's one of the worst things that you can do. So let's say that you've had a relationship for years. Maybe you're living together, maybe you're not, maybe you're married, maybe you're not, but you sunk that time and emotional investment and routine into your life. And suddenly now you're thinking about taking all of that and changing it and making it not be the same, to do the work, to make the physical and emotional effort to change it. Boy, we can come up with a whole lot of reasons why there'd be other things you'd rather do.
Exactly. It's a whole lot easier just to ride the wave out.
Yeah.
Don't rock the boat.
Nope. Because, man, it's not easy.
Keep on going.
So, but then we stay in a bad relationship, in a bad situation because, or someone who isn't right for you anymore, or you've changed, or and we've had this many, many, many times on the show as well. Relationships that have changed and not for the better. And the thought about acknowledging it and starting to go to therapy together to address the issues and talk about them. That is, and people are like, well, I just, it's so hard. Yeah, it is. It's really effing hard. But again, it's a whole lot easier to say I can just go and do some Legion invasions and not have to try to talk to my wife about the reasons why I am feeling like I don't matter to her anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Or that I don't feel like I'm in love with this person anymore. Or that I don't know who they are. Or, all of those things. And so...
just fill yourself up with distractions.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it will distractions and or excuses. Just both of them.
I can't talk about a lot of the details behind my situation.
Yeah.
As much as I would like to, I cannot. I am actually prevented from doing so. So, but what I can say is that I was in this very situation of the sunk cost fallacy. And and the thing that I can convey to all of you that are listening to this show tonight is that recognizing it for what it is the first step in the process of changing it.
Absolutely.
And
you got to know the problem before you can fix it.
Yeah, and you have to acknowledge it. You have to acknowledge that this is something that exists. You have to acknowledge that this is real and that it's part of your life, and it is something that is really causing you pain, anxiety, stress, anger, whatever it is that's not good.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't have to be relationships. It can be anything. But are you a victim of sunk cost fallacy if you are feeling anxious, anxiety, anger, frustration, fear about stuff on an ongoing basis?
Yeah, I'd say so on one level or another.
Yeah. Yeah, and and it can be on a short term, like, small amount, but I mean, I would shine the light on your whole situation sometimes. And it is good to take a step back and take inventory of where you are. And, there's nothing, I will say this every single day until I die. There is never a situation where you don't have a choice.
Yeah.
It may not be the easiest. It may not be feasible right now, but it always is there.
Yeah.
Always. It may be the hardest thing that you ever have to do, but there is always a choice between yes or no, or this or that, or, there's choice. It's just a matter of whether you're willing to acknowledge it.
And even if you do not decide, you still have made a choice. Mm-hmm. Or however that lyrics go, if you choose not to decide, you still have made a choice.
It's true.
There we go.
It's true. And so think about that for a little bit if you're in a situation where you're like, I can't, I have no choice. 2020 site in the chat room said, I might for a job situation, quote, I might as well work here until I retire, even though I hate this place. Because there's a constant, I see this all the time when I'm coaching about how people say, I can't, there's no other way. It's just, this is how it has to be. And I look at that and say, that's not true.
Yeah, I'm kind of in that situation myself because I do like my job.
Yeah.
I enjoy what I do. It's nice, but I want to do more. I want to explore other options. Mm-hmm. But right now, I say this, I can't leave because I have health insurance. 401k, have health insurance for my wife who has a pre-existing asthma.
Yep.
So we got to have that. It's like I have to have these things. And it's a job where I can ask off for Nerdtacular for the movie meetup. I have this flexibility that most people I know don't have.
Right.
So it's got a lot of pros in it, and there's some other cons to it, but I can't, not right now. I don't see myself able to move on because I just, I can't find all the pros at another position, and am I willing to wipe away all of the pros along with the cons, and take a chance on starting a new position somewhere? Because I've been at my company for 7 years, and there are perks that come with that, and
oh yeah,
and there, I get extra vacation days because I've been here so long. So it's this idea is like, well, I've spent this many years at this job, I might as well stick with it for a little while longer. And enjoy the benefits of it, even though there's parts of it that I don't like or I don't think are awesome.
Right.
But then again, every job is that way. There's things you don't like about your job.
Right.
So I try and think like, well, I could just be another one of those people that are not completely happy in their job, but I'm fine just working there.
Yeah.
So I go back and forth.
Exactly.
So I can identify with what Dwayne said in that one.
In my challenge to you, I would say you said I can't leave because I have these things that need to happen. My challenge back to you is you could leave if there were other options that were similar in what you needed. And there are other options, you just haven't found them yet.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this is the trick about the I can't. And and we do get stuck in I can't thinking.
Oh yeah.
Oh gosh, we do.
I'm so guilty of that.
Yeah. And I was in a situation like that where I said, I can't change my job. I can't move to a different state. I can't do this. I can't do, well, it's like, no, you can. You just have to figure out how. Mm-hmm. And that is the biggest part of the recognition of I can't, because everybody says it. We all do it. And so my perspective is that, and I know it's a little like tough lovey, but it's saying, yes, you can. You just may not like what the options are.
Yeah.
And that's fair.
It is.
Absolutely fair. And you can say, I can't do this right now because I can't blah, 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 blah. Okay. But you can acknowledge that there are other things that you could do to rectify that situation.
Yeah. And that'll get the ball rolling. Mm-hmm. Once you recognize that you can do something, maybe you're just not able to at the moment. Mm-hmm. And then you just keep on going.
Yeah. And Theonden says, I wish I could find a job with my health issues, with having certain health issues. My challenge to you in that to say, if you say, I can't find a job with my health issues, my challenge back is going to say, have you looked at every option, and have you been told by a doctor that you are no longer permitted to work ever again. You know, literally I can't, like, you are confined to bed and you cannot move and you cannot use your arms and you cannot use your brain and you cannot use your mouth to speak, because then my challenge is going to be, we have the internet and we have this and we, you know, there's always an option. You just may not have thought of it yet, or you may not have come across it yet. So those are the kinds of things to help reshape your thinking sometimes. There you go. You have a free coaching session right there.
Yeah. And try to look up, you know, with your health issues, see if there are other people that have had the same health issues and what do they do for gainful employment, you know, try to explore that, or talk to a doctor like, hey, I have these health things. Do you have any suggestions or ideas? You know, I mean, there's other ways to kind of look instead of just going to these job websites or wherever. You know, do a little bit more digging.
It's you know, I really hope that someday someone could give me a situation where it literally is I can't, you know, and that I couldn't find the other option, or another choice or something else. So there you go. Challenge me.
Challenge accepted.
Challenge me. I will find another option. You may not like the answer, but I will find it.
I will find it.
Yep. So that is a discussion that we had tonight about sunk cost fallacy. If you guys have your own thoughts about this and want to share your stories, please do so at questions@taurenthinktank.com. Let us know if you are enjoying conversations like this one, where we're coming up with topics of discussion, doing some research and coming in there to kind of mix it up a little bit. We're also doing this because we don't have a lot of questions in mailbox either. So if you've got mailbox questions, things you want to send to us for certain scenarios, you can also do that at the email address as well. And if you aren't watching the live stream, you are missing a very cute kitty on the webcam right now. He's being wickedly cute right now. Garrus is taking his spot on the webcam because he happened to be in the cat tray when I set up the show. So, all right. And speaking of new things that we are doing, we are bringing on our Tell Us One Thing tonight with the twist. Here we go.
We read your submissions because reading your mind would just be creepy.
So as we talk, you are creepy.
It would be creepy.
It would be creepy. As we talked about last week on the show, we are mixing up Tell Us One Thing a little bit here, and we are asking you guys questions that we are also going to answer ourselves. And instead of having you guys send us the questions, now you still can. We actually have a question waiting for us for next week's show. You guys can do this. We can use your submissions as well. But let's be completely honest with you. Our submission pool was drying up. So we wanted to re-engage you guys in a different way. And boy, did we re-engage you. Holy crud.
We really did.
Like, I was going through these going, oh man, we've got a lot of submissions to like organize. It's the first time in a long time I've had to kind of do a lot of, like, you know, puzzle pieces, musical chairs with this segment, which is good. It's a good thing.
We like a challenge.
You came up with the questions this week, Mark Conan.
I did. And well, the first one was, and this was actually one that I didn't use Google for. Because I'll be honest, the second one, like I thought of one, and then the second one I was like, so I was like Googling fun questions to ask people, you know, and like going through huge lists. So the first one that I came up with was, when was the last time that you saw something that filled you with awe and wonder? Just one of those, you know, it gives you like you could not talk, you know, or just one of these that's just, it takes your breath and your ability to speak away.
Yeah.
You know, what was so Jules, what was the last time that this happened to you?
You know, it's funny. This is gonna sound so cheesy, but the last time this happened to me, I was it was downtown, not this week, but last week, like this past weekend, but the weekend before. I was in downtown Minneapolis, and I had gone to meet up with some people, and then Google Maps was taking me home. And so, because I don't know my way around downtown Minneapolis at all, because I just moved here. I don't know anything. So the Google Maps took me right past the brand new stadium, the US Bank Stadium that was built for the Vikings, which is opening this year for the first time. And I went like directly past this thing. And I just looked at this thing and I'm driving past it and I'm looking up and going, oh my God. Like it was just, it was so huge. And it's all glass. And it's just like, I was just stunned by the architecture of it.
Yeah.
And how cool it was and how big it was. And it was just like, it kind of hit me that I'm like, I live here now. Like that was just that, I live in this area now. And that was really cool. Cause to have something like that as like, that's on television, that you watch the NFL and you're like, they show the big aerial shots and I live here now. So that was, and I know it's kind of cheesy. It's not like some of the other stuff that we've gotten, but that was the last time that happened. How about you?
That's cool. Well, I said when was the last time, but there was a couple of points in my life where I was speechless. And the most recent one was several years ago. I went on spring break to Phoenix, Arizona, and decided to go there because I'd always wanted to go up north to see Meteor Crater and also the Grand Canyon. And the first time that I actually got to see off of the North Rim or the South Rim, I guess it is, whichever one has all the stuff, all the lodges. But I went, first time actually seeing it was just jaw dropping. Mm-hmm. You see it on TV, you see it on maps, and it's like, wow, that's really cool, but then all of a sudden you're there. You are physically there in the space, and there's this giant void in between you, and you're looking miles across to the other side. And it's like, this is, you feel so tiny, mm-hmm. and I was just awestruck by it. And then again that night, because like the sun had set, all the lights kind of were out. It was like 11:30 at night, new moon, so there was no moon out. Oh, wow. And I had to go out to the car and get something out of the car. And so I walked out and I looked over towards the canyon because we stayed at one of the lodges right there on the rim. And I looked out and I just saw all of the stars. Mm-hmm. It was, I'd seen that before one night in South Dakota when I was little. Mm-hmm. And it was just jaw dropping. And you see all the stars. And then you look and there is the absence of light when you look down in the canyon. There is nothing. Uh-huh. It was a void. And
that
I felt
is scary.
I felt like I was getting pulled into it. I had to hold on to like the one of the rails for a second and get my bearings again. Because I just felt like I was getting sucked into it. It was like a black hole, and just... Oh, it was just crazy.
It's kind of creepy.
Yeah. Oh, it was very creepy. And another one real quick was 1996. My family went to Florida, and the space shuttle Columbia was up it was orbiting, and it was carrying the Olympic torch, unlit, of course, because it was for the 96 games in Atlanta.
Yep.
Well, we were there, and my parents surprised me like at 3:00 in the morning saying, we're going to go see Columbia land. Oh, wow. Get in the car. And I stood next to the vehicle assembly building, the building that they built the Saturn V rocket in. It's so big that it has its own clouds and weather. And it's huge structure. Mm-hmm. And I was standing next to it and I heard the sonic boom of the shuttle coming in and I saw Columbia land. And it was one of those things that as a nerd, a space nerd growing up, it was the culmination of one of my dreams. I'd always wanted to see one of them launch, which I didn't get to, but to see it land was just amazing. And I was just jaw dropping, just like to see that, the thing that I loved and admired, the space program.
Yeah.
And to be there to watch it live. It was just one of those times. Just, oh, wow.
That's super cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny when we pose this question to the audience through Twitter and Discord and Facebook. This one actually broke into very specific categories that people fell into, and it was very interesting. A large number of people said something related to their children. And it could have been, it was like Old Man Frank's May 16th, 2016, when my second child was born. So talking about when children were born. Turart's saying anytime her son Miles sees or learns something new, it reminds me how much I take for granted. Lately, it's been him and Padfoot, our puppy, interacting together. Just the instincts they have on how to treat each other and play is amazing. And so it's very interesting that, you know, a lot of the last time that people were filled with awe and wonder could have been like the birth of their child or something with their children.
Definitely.
Yeah. I mean, I have some of that with my cats, my boys. So I guess my moments are just like so every night before I go to bed, Garrus will jump up on the bed and he'll climb on my chest and he'll purr, and then he sits on my shoulder while I'm laying down and he wraps his paw around my neck. And I took a picture of this last night. And
I saw
tweeted
that.
it. Yeah. And he's purring and drooling and he's just happy. And I sometimes just get awestruck by the capacity for love that animals have, which is just an amazing thing. Like, you know, they don't care who you are, you know, if you ate too much that day, if you smell bad, they're just like, whatever, I love you.
Exactly. Yeah.
So yeah, and then we had something you can talk about. This one, nature and the world.
Yeah, we did. Let's see here. Kalani said that about a year ago, he was standing at the border of Summit and Wasatch counties in Utah.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing when we were in Utah for Nerdtacular, getting up on that mountain, and actually just the drive up to the mountain is so amazing because I was raised in Rice Field Central, you know, flatland for days.
Yeah. And
I mean, any topographical difference in elevation amazes me, especially the stuff out in Utah. So I can definitely agree with him there. Rue said that today and every day, there are a couple of photographers on Instagram that blow her away with gorgeous landscapes. And it's just really cool. Jessica Chaos is talking about strong thunderstorms and weather. That's another one that always gets me too, is just the amazing weather.
Yes.
Fate 3000 was walking through Paris near the Louvre, and just all of these, when you kind of forget you realize your surroundings, you take a moment and really just enjoy and take it in.
Yeah.
And see it for what it is instead of being wrapped up in your own mind or your own life and your own problems. Just to sit back and enjoy what the universe can show us, you know?
Yeah, definitely. And then we have a couple of just grab bag ones, different ones in there too. Totemly Drunk said one that I absolutely totally agree with.
Oh, yeah.
This one was fantastic, and Totally Drunk tweeted and said, Overwatch's reveal at BlizzCon 2014. The hype going in and the atmosphere at the stage was unbelievable. Was taken back by it all. And I remember sitting next to Mark Honan during that. And we were just like, we were so excited. Like you can feel the electricity in the room, and the fact that we were watching this for the first time with the world. Oh my gosh, that was so cool. Like that did give me a lot of awe.
Oh yeah, I was covered in goosebumps at the end of it, and I was picking my jaw up off the floor. I was like, I love this. I don't even know what it is, but I love it.
It was like we really all felt like we had been a part of something really special. And that doesn't happen very often.
Yeah, it was their first new IP in 17, 18 years?
Yeah.
So, I mean, just a whew.
And we had no idea what it was going to be. We had no clue what it was we were going to get, and it was a surprise. And oh man, that was really, really special. And then being surrounded by our friends at the same time watching this was even better.
Yeah, I've gone back and watched the reveal, and you can see Metzen shaking before he reveals it. He said, I remember him saying somewhere that he was just like gonna throw up nervous.
Yeah.
He was so nervous at that point. And just the release of getting to show it to everybody, you know.
Yeah, that's a big, big deal. Like that's that's a huge weight to be on your shoulders to be the one to say, welcome world to something new that you've been waiting for 17 years.
Yeah. It was so exciting, but I agree with Bim in the chat room. She said it honestly was kind of confused when I saw it. And I was like, yeah, I was confused because I didn't know what it was, but it felt very Blizzard, and it felt very like I was like, I know I'm going to enjoy this universe because it looks really cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, it was, that was great.
Yeah.
But yeah, I totally agree with Totemly on that one.
Which other ones of these did you like from what we got?
Let's see. I also liked. Let me scroll back up. I liked. Well, I mean, what Erlina said. She said, "Well, lately I've been wondering who this person is and what she's done with my daughter." So apparently, Erlina's daughter's going through a little bit of change.
It sounds from what I've heard, and I think she's in the chat room, that these are actually good things. Like her daughter is doing things out of character that are really good and productive for her.
That's good.
So yeah, I think that this has been a really good thing, but it's nice to see and not like an unexpected thing. Like, wow. Yeah, these were a lot of fun to read. We're not going to read all of them, but you guys can continue to send in things like this, and we will go through them and talk about them on the show and talk about ours. This is how it's going to work. And then we had the second question that Marcona came up with.
Yeah, and there was some unintended caveats in there for it because I love music. Music is one of the most important things in my life, and I had there's a lot of sentimentality to music. I tend to just put so much into a song, and I can just really get a lot out of it. Mm-hmm. And so I ran across this question where it said, what are the 3 albums, soundtracks, or compilations don't count? Which, in the end, I think kind of hurt it maybe a little bit. Yeah. But yeah, what 3 albums really defined you or have shaped you as a person? Mm-hmm. What albums could you just not put down? Which ones did you run the record or the CD or the tape out of commission because you listened to it so much? What music changed your life?
Yeah. So
go
ahead and answer your own question.
Well, for me, being a fan of so many different genres, it was hard to boil it down to 3, but they kind of jumped out at me. The first one was James Taylor's New Moonshine, because my dad listened to a lot of classic rock growing up. So I was thinking, okay, well, Journey, Genesis and Phil Collins, all of these, Queen. I could have gone with Queen, but really the one that stuck out to me was James Taylor's New Moonshine, because James Taylor was an artist that I grew up listening to, but just, was kind of in the background. And then when I was in college and I was growing up and I revisited a lot of my dad's music, and then I was enjoying it on like 4 or 5 additional levels and seeing the richness that is in it. And also because on the album art for that, James Taylor's kind of back against a corner, and and my dad favors James Taylor a little bit, but he used to have a mustache when I was growing up. And my dad tricked me and said that was him because his nose on the album art cast a shadow. So it looked like he had a mustache. So from afar, it looks like my dad.
Oh, geez.
So he's like, yeah, see, I remember him showing me the CD. I said, yeah, he put me on the album. I was like, wow. And then, of course, later on, I realized that wasn't him. So I have that memory attached to it. Plus, it has a lot of great songs, including my favorite song, Frozen Man by him, on that album. So that's one of them. And then was the most important one for me was Real Big Fish's Turn the Radio Off. This album, I was already primed and ready to enjoy ska music because I played trombone. Yeah. And I just realized that rock bands have horn sections in them sometime because I'd forgotten about Chicago when I was growing up.
Yes.
And I found the Walmart edited edition of this album in my local Walmart in a small town in Arkansas, and I ran the thing into the ground. I could not listen to it. Like, it was done. Like, I had worn out the disc. So I had to buy it 2 or 3 more times. And this album opened up a whole chapter into my life with enjoying that type of music, experiencing that part of the culture. It's the reason why I wore Hawaiian shirts every day in high school, because I was a nerd like that. And it was the beginning of the next chapter musically in my life. So I will always love that album. I can almost play the whole thing on trombone from ear or from just figuring it out. The third one I really love electronic music, and the album that I put on loop was the Crystal Methods Vegas. This was the first album. It came out in 97. I think Turn the Radio Off came out in 96. So it's like these two albums, one year after another, just these two huge parts of my life is the electronic and the ska. And it was both of those. I could put Vegas on loop. In fact, my mom really liked Vegas. So we got her a copy, and she would always listen to it when she was mowing the lawn at the house. Like she would just put it in and go. You know, my mom listening to Crystal Method. It's really awesome. So yeah, those are my three.
That's awesome.
But what about you? I know I've talked. I can't just say the three. I had to say why. So, what about you? I'm going on too long.
That's okay. My three. So the very first two albums that I could buy on my own and play on my record player are the first two, and that is Michael Jackson's Thriller.
Oh yeah.
And Cyndi Lauper's She's So Unusual.
Nice.
So I bought those two at the same time, and I wore them out. They were on record. I had my own record player in my room, and I knew every song, every lyric, every note of all of it, and I sang along with it like crazy. So, and I have that thing, like there are certain albums out there that you've listened to so much that you could literally put it on now and sing along with it and not even realize it. Like that's the weird thing with that.
Oh yeah.
And then the third one for me is Phil Collins' Face Value.
I knew it.
Yes.
I knew that was going to be one of them.
and this has to absolutely do with my dad, because my dad had that on cassette tape. And anytime we were in the car when it came out, he would play it. And I just fell in love with the style of music. So then it led me down the path of Chicago and Journey and all of and then, of course, Genesis, when I knew that Phil Collins was playing with Genesis. And then I went back and I got all of the old ones that he had, that he'd done. I remember playing Phil Collins' I Don't Care Anymore as a head thrasher song in college. Like when I was really frustrated, and just like I would turn that on and blast it. And, just get that anger out, because that song is just a yeller.
It is.
And so good stuff. Very, very good stuff. You know what was cool about seeing people's responses to this is that you can see certain genres truly represented by the people who were giving them.
Yeah.
So Kalani is a good friend of ours, and Kalani is a piano guy. He plays the piano, and he plays it really, really well, as we've shown on our streams in the past. And his three were Billy Joel's Turnstiles, Bruce Hornsby and the Range the Way It Is, and Sergei Rachmaninoff, A Window in Time. Piano.
I had a feeling Rachmaninoff would be in there.
Yeah. And the influential stuff that are part of it. What other ones did you like? I'm not going to keep talking a lot.
Well, I like Old Man Frank's because the first one he put down was another ska band that I like, the Orange County Supertones with Supertones Strike Back. Mm-hmm. Also, Demon Hunter, Summer of Darkness, and Becoming the Archetype, Terminate Damnation. So it's a nice change in there. I like those, and let's see, where else? Lost Night, like some Styx with Caught in the Act, Meatloaf's Return to Hell, and Alexander James Adams' Harvest Season.
Jane and I must have the same. Jane from Sweden. We have the same taste here. The Strokes, This Is It, Franz Ferdinand, self-titled album, and System of a Down, Toxicity. I definitely had all of those. So I wouldn't say they were shaping, but we have the same kind of taste in music in that way. Now I listen to a ton of independent artists. Like everything on me is Spotify, everything indie. That's what I listen to all the time whenever I'm working. Yeah.
Let's see. We've also got Barbara MK426. She likes Coheed and Cambria's The Color Before the Sun, Fall Out Boy's Folie à Dieu, and then Riot by Paramore. Yeah. I do love me some Paramore and some Fall Out Boy, definitely.
Yeah.
Get some yelling in.
Heliocene was interesting. The Piano Guy's first album, and then Voicemail's albums Hooked and Six. I don't actually know Voicemail, MALE.
Isn't that? I think that popped up on my Pandora earlier today. I think it's a cappella.
Is it really?
I think it is.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, because I do listen to a lot of a cappella when I get the chance, because I do love that a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's just some really good, there's some good things in here. But I couldn't even pronounce most of Jessica Chaos's. Like, I don't even know. I haven't heard of Wardruna as the artist. But there's a lot of a Scandinavian style names in here, so I do apologize. I'm going to butcher it. Runjald and Yggdrasil by Wardruna.
Yggdrasil sounds like a boss in Dragon Soul.
It does.
It sounds like something that Yogg-Saron would throw at us, or a Ysarge.
Yeah, exactly. So there's a whole lot of really cool stuff that you guys are listening to. I think we will make sure that we don't do one that has 3 parts of it next time, because it got a little unwieldy. But
it did a little bit, but we're still navigating this new change to tell us one thing.
Yes.
So we'll check it out.
Yes, and you guys, now that you've kind of seen what the kind of questions are that we're asking, you are welcome to submit your own for us to post to the audience and answer ourselves if you'd like. But otherwise, we'll keep on making up. It'll be my turn this week.
Yep.
I only have to come up with one because we've got a now the one that we've gotten is a yes or no question. And then, so we'll see how that shapes up with this new format. I kind of like them being a little bit more open-ended, but we'll see how it goes. Yeah, it'll be very cool. I can't believe it's like 9:40 already. Like,
oh wow,
like what
this
show just flew by. So we'll fly into the Slash Moose. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to pull in the feedback question.
Oh, that's right.
I did, and I'm going to need to go grab it because I don't have it open. I'm going to go grab that real quick, guys, because I have the email here.
Let's see.
Find it. There it is. Okay. This one was from Crush from last week. Actually, let me play the bumper. I'm totally off my rhythm here. Let's do this feedback bumper first.
Ladies and gentlemen, we now bring you... Whoa, that's a lot of feedback.
Last week we heard from Crush, who was asking us about stepping away as a volunteer and doing so gently. And Zug is in the chat room saying, "Way to go, Jules! Thanks, boss."
Thanks, boss.
Thanks, boss. I hope you're doing okay. And let's go ahead and read this answer. He says, "Hey, Jules and Marconin, thanks for taking my email and discussing it. It felt good to hear the problem talked about outside my own head. I haven't told the softball team yet because the season is still going, but I sent in my resignation letter to the Little League today. I spent a good part of the morning writing it and the other part staring at the send button." I know that feeling.
Mm-hmm.
"Here's the abridged version with names and specifics removed." He said, quote, "This will be my final year as umpire assigner. It's been a good 4 years, and I'm glad that I've been able to contribute to the league in a capacity that fits my skill set. I will be shifting focus to new projects and interests going forward to see what else I can achieve and explore. Thank you for the opportunity to give back to an organization that was integral and positive part of my upbringing. I wouldn't be the person I am today without the experiences I've had and the people I've met through this league. I wish you and all of the volunteers continued success and fulfillment going into the future." End quote. "It was hard, but I'm glad I did it. I'm stepping into the change I want to make, and even though it's a bit heavy right now, I think it will work out well for me. Thanks again. See you on the Broken Isles," from Crush.
So that was really good. That was a really good letter. Very professional. I will seek new opportunities and, not going into specifics. So yeah, that was a really good letter.
I read that letter and said, "Damn, dude, that's a really good, well-written letter right there."
It really is.
Damn. That is so super cool. So I love it. I thought it was a really good letter. And sorry, I forgot to put it in the show notes. Ugh, I was too busy sorting through all the Tell Us One Thing questions.
All the music.
So we are going to talk a little bit now about the Slash Moves, which you guys can send in the chat room. So here's your Slash Moo, 30-second warning for you. 30-second warning for Slash Moves. Fire away, sir.
First one's up from Mammoth. Slash Moo to the fave at Kage Satsuki, Derp Kitty, who is fighting cancer.
Yes. So
Yeah.
sorry to hear that.
Sorry, I butchered the name. It's I see it, but I very seldom say it out loud.
Yeah.
So I had to go from my brain to my mouth, and it didn't quite work out.
It's hard. From DMB25108 / moo to my raid team, Room with a Moose, for finally killing heroic Archimond on my last pull before bed and Legion.
Nice. Right under the wire. From at OG_chaplain / moo to the whole 30 life plan. Lost 20 plus pounds last month to celebrate my 20th wedding anniversary.
Wow.
Congrats.
Wow.
That's awesome.
I haven't heard of the whole 30 life plan before.
I think it's where you eat like just whole foods. Like, I can't remember. I'd heard of it, but I don't know the particulars.
Gotcha. Okay.
I'll have to look into that.
I know, right? It's like, what is that? From Cthulhu Madness / moo to Doghouse and the awesome awesome rig that shipped to Kuwait.
Wow.
Like, wow.
That's a long ways.
No kidding. That's crazy.
It really is. From Broken Bones / moo to Demon Invasions and the power leveling they bring.
Seriously. From Kazric / moo to the fine folks in Face Pull of CTR Guild for running me through Archimond to get my moose.
/ moose.
I still haven't gotten my
And
moose.
also from Nymphadora / moo to at Evilani, at Miss Noid, and at Unexpectedly / Sparrow for helping keep me going during these rough months. I know we've all had our fair share of rough patches this summer, but these ladies have been awesome with their encouragement and just chatting with me. Can't wait to meet them at BlizzCon.
And in the chat room, Totemly Drunk says / moo to Tatva and Tovo for their continued work on LOS game nights. Looking forward to the pre-Legion event to come next week.
Mm-hmm.
Those guys have been kicking some major ass with those game nights, man. Like, they're so creative. I love it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
From Theoden, / moo to Blizz for one of their best pre-expansion events.
And 2020 site said, I missed yours. I don't see yours.
Oh.
Did you tweet it? I don't see it. So we'll read the ones from the chat room and Marconin will look. Zug says a big / moo to the Ermagerd offensive. Yes, our new raid team. Yay!
Yeah.
Fancy
And,
pants.
From Drethen / moo to all the podcasters that cover Legion Beta that were fair and balanced.
Where is it in the chat? I don't see it. 20, I don't see. Do you see it? 2 lines above totem? I must, my chat must have glitched out because I don't see that.
Mine does. I don't see it either. I don't know what's wrong.
Yeah.
Maybe you can just paste it for us again. We'll
yeah,
get it
please.
in there.
Draven, did you do Dravens? Yeah.
Not yet.
Okay, go do Dravens.
Draven Dresden said / moo to Mick Montgomery for all that he's done for the Blizzard community. We'll miss you. And I've got to agree with that.
Yeah. I don't see it either. And I'm looking at both I've done 2 screens. I'm sorry. I don't see your message. There we go. / moo to my girlfriend who I get to meet for the first time in person tomorrow. Congratulations.
Congrats.
That's freaking awesome.
Sweet.
Yeah, chat must have glitched. Like, I didn't see anything. Oh, sorry about that. Awesome, guys. Thank you so much for your / moos. So very cool. And that is a podcast, folks.
Yeah. Oh, one last / moo to Garrisons for making me so much gold. We'll miss you.
You will miss
next week.
Yeah.
Well, more like I'll miss the gold missions, but
yes. Yes. And there will be other ways that you will make oodles and oodles of gold. You know that's going to happen.
Yes. I've got my my ideas and my tendrils and some things that I'm going to try and do the first few weeks. So we'll see. We'll see.
I like it.
Yes.
So yeah, this is a show, and then next week it's episode 200.
200.
Yes, it's big. I can't believe it. Like, and Marconen's got a lot of work to do now. So
I do. But luckily, I don't have to. I have like a half day at work tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then I only work Sunday. I work Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, but I have Wednesday and Thursday off because of Legion. So aside from work, I'll be working on it.
Yes. So we will be back next Thursday for the episode 200 show on September 1st. And between now and then, I will be going to New Jersey for the weekend. Marconin will be doing audio editing, more Legion invasions, I'm sure.
Maybe a few.
Maybe a few.
I need another 100.
I know. So I'm going to be enjoying the ocean and the boardwalk and New Jersey style pizza, and I'm really excited. I can't wait.
Now, what is New Jersey style pizza?
It's the super thin crust style, but it's not like the crispy crust. It's real floppy, and it's big pieces, really big pieces that fold.
Okay.
And
so is it? What's the difference between that and New York style?
It's the same thing. It's New York style pizza.
Okay.
They co-opted it.
Okay, that works.
Basically, what happened is all the people from New York moved out to New Jersey and started making that style of pizza. So
I'll
it's the
take
same
it.
thing. And it's but they put the weirdest stuff on these pizzas. Like it's baked ziti and barbecue pizza and mac and cheese pizza and stuff that's like I've seen eggplant pizza and chicken parmesan. I usually have that. And
Well, that sounds good. When I went to New York City, I wanted to have a slice of New York style pizza, but I didn't want just pepperoni or something. But I looked at it, and they had chicken and broccoli pizza. It was like grilled chicken pieces and broccoli. I was like, that's a little healthier.
Yeah.
So I'll take that. And it was good.
And then there's white pizza, which is ricotta cheese.
Oh, I would love that.
It's so good. I'm so excited. I can't wait. So, and I get to see my mom and dad, which is awesome. Yeah. And another
give them a hug for me.
I will. Another big slash moo to them. I talked to you guys last week about they went through some of the worst situations that I have ever seen with identity theft. I have never seen it this bad. And both my poor parents got hit. Started with my mom and went to my dad. And I just went and I made sure that I locked my stuff down like you wouldn't believe, because I don't ever want to go through what they did. So
Oh yeah, definitely not.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So we'll be back next Thursday, and we will bring this show to a close.
Bring in your audio submissions.
Yes.
By the end of the night tonight.
You have to do it before
if you haven't done
comes to work from tomorrow. So.
Yep. Get it done. Get it in. Questions at TaurenThinkTank.com. Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
All right, guys. Here we go. Close it out. Tauren Think Tank is a proud member of the Signals Media All-Star Network. Find out more about the other great shows in the network by going to signalsmedia.com.
Portions of the music and sound effects heard on this show can be found at incompetech.com and freesound.org. And also, you can find us outside of the show on our website, taurenThinkTank.com, which has all of our podcasts and information on how to get in touch with us, too.
Thank you to all who support our show via Patreon. If you'd like to help out Triple T, you can do so at patreon.com/TaurenThinkTank. Want to meet other members of the Triple T community? Join our Discord server. The quick way to get there is tinyurl.com/TTTchat2.
You can like us on Facebook if you go to Facebook at facebook.com/TaurenThinkTank. But you can also find us on Twitter. You can find the show's Twitter at Tauren Think Tank. You can find Jules at Jules RPG and myself, Marconin, at Marconin Wow.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, chat room, for being with us tonight, hanging out every Thursday night normally. Not Thursday, but
special Hump Day edition today.
Special Hump Day edition. And we start at 8 o'clock Central Daylight Time on twitch.tv/Tauren Think Tank. That is our video stream. And our mobile audio stream is through Alpha Geek Radio at tunein.alphageekradio.com. It's not going on tonight because we're not on a normal night. So, but normally we would be on Alpha Geek too.
Yeah.
We love seeing you guys here with us whenever you can be. And, Marconin.
Jules.
Have a wonderful week.
You do the same. Enjoy your visit with your folks.
I will. I will document my fun, and I will send it to you.
Good. Good.
And you guys have a wonderful week as well. Happy pre-Legion launch. And by the time we come back, Legion will be in our hands. We can't wait. And I know you guys can't either. So
yeah. Have fun making your demon hunters.
Have fun, you guys. For myself, for Marconin, for the entire chat room, until next time. /moo, everybody.
/moo.
Tauren Think Tank. We make your problems less bad.
This podcast is a part of the Signals Media All-Star Network. For more information on this and other fine shows, go to signalsmedia.com. It's okay to stick our stuff in your ears. Really?
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 I don't think that cat could be any cuter. He's just been doing his rollover stuff, and then he's been posing for the camera in his sleep. And just darn cute cat.
Too cute.
Darn cute cat.
So, show titles.
Show titles, lovely people.
I was thinking about Tauros Think Tank. Or Tauros Miltank. the two cow Pokemon.
So, how is that spelled? I don't even know.
I think... goodness.
Tauros Miltank?
Miltank, yeah.
T-A...
Yep, Tauros and then Miltank.
Tauros Miltank. Okay.
Tauros. Do not Google Tauros Miltank and look at images.
Oh, no.
Because there's some Rule 34 going on right there.
Oh, God, really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Now
I had to
I'm
get away from it.
Okay, now I'm curious. I'm going to do it. Am I going to hate myself?
Do not Google image search Tauros Miltank.
Image search. Oh!
Told you.
Wait, whoa!
Oh, my.
Wait, people drew that?
People draw everything.
Wait, what?
Everything. Yeah, I saw Tauros once a few weeks back, but I couldn't catch him either.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
So that's a thing. So yeah, that's one idea.
Okay. I like that idea. I don't like what I just saw. But if you guys have any other suggestions, never tell someone not to Google something. Rule 34 of the internet is that if there is a porn version of it, it exists on the internet.
Or
if something exists, there's a porn version of it.
If it exists, there is porn of it.
Yes.
Is word for word Rule 34.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
If it exists, there's porn of it.
Mm-hmm.
And there's just like, it popped right up. I do not have safe search on either, so.
Yeah. So it was just, I was like, oh, so that's what, oh, man.
Oh.
Oh.
Karis, you're just too damn cute. I can't stand it. He's too cute.
He really is.
Little toe beans there.
Yeah. During, I thought there was a few rules before Rule 34.
Yeah, there are. I just can't remember what they are. People have talked about this on other podcasts, and I now can't remember the details.
Yeah.
Somebody will find it, if not Marconin.
Yeah, there's a few up there. It all starts with 4chan stuff. You know, there's... Yeah, there is porn of it, no exceptions. Rule 35, if no porn is found at the moment, it will be made.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Talon right, I don't think we're going to name the show Crystal Pepsi Blacklight Stains. I just don't think that's a good fitting show title. No.
Just in case.
Just in
Probably
case
won't.
you were wondering. So before I turn the bot off, buy your tickets before we sign off. If you don't know how many points you have, just do !points in the chat, and then you can buy in increments of 10 points to buy your tickets. So ! Points. So Totally Drunk in that example can get 3 tickets, and Bim can get 8, almost 9. Drethin, that's a lot of points.
Whew.
You can buy up those tickets. Marconin can't buy tickets because he can't
Nope.
win.
I was just seeing how many points I had.
Yeah, get your tickets purchased, and then you'll have more chances when we do episode 200 if you are here tonight and you cannot be for episode 200, but if you are here, like if you're going to be late, log into Twitch and stay in the chat room and just keep it going, because as soon as the bot is going, you are getting loyalty points as soon as we go. So I put the bot in when we start and I take it out when we end. So that is how it works.
Yep, that's how to do it.
So that is how you do it. And if you can be here before we close the show out, then you can show up and buy your tickets before we say done, and then pick. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I like this bot. It's pretty neat. Keeps it all managed for me.
Yeah, and it's gonna be cool. I can't wait to do the contest and the reveal and all that stuff.
It's gonna be
awesome. It's gonna be a good time.
It's gonna be a fun night. It's gonna be a good time. And you don't have to be present to win as well. We will message you on Twitch and we will tell you that you won. If we get some of you, we know your name outside of Twitch, but if we don't know your information outside of it, we will send you a message in Twitch. And do it that way. Pretty damn cool. And then we'll have to get your address, and you have to be in the US to get it.
Either that or have somebody that will gladly ship it to you overseas that you can send the address to.
Yeah. So it'll have to be mailed to somebody in the United States, and then that you designate, and then they can send it to you. Because our fan of the show who has donated them has agreed to send them to the US addresses, but that's it. And I think that's fair. So
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
It was awesome of Tanker One to do that.
Oh my gosh. Yes. I feel bad that my brain just went poop. I tried to think of his name earlier. Like, oh god, my brain. Oh god.
Oh no.
No.
Oh, let's see here. Yay, we got a couple more audio submissions.
While we were doing the show?
Yeah, we got one. Let's see.
Yes. I see them.
Yep, from Drethan.
Them.
Sweet.
Excellent. Thank you guys so much. We're going to get out of here because I have to start posting the show and start to pack. So.
And I'm going to sleep eventually.
And Marconan's going to go to sleep.
In a little bit.
Thank you for being with us tonight on our off night, not normal night. And we will see you guys on Thursday.
We will.
Have a great week.
We'll see you on the other side of the expansion.
And the bot will go away from the chat room as soon as we sign off. So get your purchases made before we go. See you guys.
Yep. We'll see y'all later. Have a great night and weekend. See you next week.